Hey everybody, Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon coming at you with a new entitled parent story from you/SaturnGrl. We have two previous stories from OP and they both have done quite well on the channel. I think you guys are gonna like this one. Linda gets a new puppy and kills my dog. Let's jump right in. But first, a message from my mother. You need to hit that subscribe button because my son deserves it. He does these videos and spends all this time on it and he gets permission from the authors, and you just need to hit that subscribe button because he's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Back to our story. Hello again, readers. Sorry I've been away for a while. Father's Day had a bit of bad news for the family. Dad hurt his back pretty bad while he was working on his garden, and his doctors had him restricted to home and rest so that he can recover. At best, he should be better by the end of the summer, so it's going to be a long road to recovery. He's been pretty depressed being cooped up in his house with the back pain, so we've been trying to cheer him up as best we can. But on with the stories you've come here for, and I know everyone has been asking for the story of the divorce of Linda, but that is at the very end of my tales. You're gonna need more of the body of the stories before we can jump to the end. Good things come to those who wait, and based on the title of this story, this could add fuel to the fire for those of you readers who have learned to hate Linda as I do. Previous chapters of the saga of stepmother Linda are listed in the description below. We've narrated two previous stories from you/SaturnGrl and highly recommend you check both of those out as well. When I was about 8 years old, our family was given two puppies from a litter a neighbor's dog had birthed. They were mixed breed mutt pups, and the owner said he couldn't really sell them, so they gave them away to families that were willing to adopt them. I got a chocolate brown girl puppy, and my sister got a white male puppy with a gold stripe down his back. Now, my little brown girl sadly died when she was hit by a car when she got loose and ran out into the street, but my sister cheered me up when she said her puppy, named Max, would be shared between us. Max looked like a white Labrador and golden retriever mix. I think the litter mother was a lab. He had the body, head, and coat of a lab, but his muzzle and golden patch on his back and longer hair on his tail looked like a golden retriever. He was beautiful and dumb as a brick. I'm not being mean. He was hilariously dumb. One of the best derps of nature I have ever known. Just a quick example of this, we could never have a screen door for our back doors. Max must have plain disbelieved in their existence because all other animals would see and wait for the door to be opened, not Max. He'd walk straight through any screen door in his path, never slowing his pace. His nose was always torn up and bleeding from this happening, but he would sit there, happily panting in the backyard, with blood dripping from his nose, totally oblivious to the damage he did to the screen door and himself. After one too many door repairs and nosebleeds in the house, my dad banished screen doors from our homes for Max's sake. 8 years later, and into the years of Linda, my sister had been kicked out at 18 and pregnant, so Max became my responsibility and my buddy. Linda had dogs of her own, and they were far older than Max, but they got along with him despite his larger size. She didn't like Max because she said he was too big, but there was nothing she could do to get rid of him without resistance. Linda's dogs did pass away not long after she joined our family. I did feel sorry for her when her dogs died. I love dogs, regardless, and I pitied her. But it didn't take her long to go out and get a new puppy, a Cairn Terrier that she named Linus. Yes, he was named after the Peanuts character. She mainly named this pup out of spite, because my sister refused to name her baby, my nephew, Linus, like Linda suggested. Linda suggested the name because we were in the hospital waiting room watching a Charlie Brown Christmas on the TV set, and during Linus's meeting of Christmas speech, the doctors announced my nephew's arrival and allowed family to see them. Thank goodness my sister stood her ground and refused to name my nephew Linus. Moving on, however, Max didn't seem to really mind Linus at first and sniffed the pup and played a little, but introducing dogs to new pups takes time, training, and they learn each other's smell, personality, and communicate their own pack rules. Now, Max, he had a large pillow that he would go and lay on, and this was his space. My grandparents also had a small dog, and their dog knew to never go near that pillow when Max needed his space. Linus, being a new puppy, didn't know better. We were sitting in the living room. I was by Max as he lay on his pillow, petting him and helping him to relax. Linus bounded over playfully to Max on his pillow. Max, being the old man at 8 years old, gave a "get off my lawn" growl at the pup when Linus tried to jump on his paws. I scolded Max, telling him to be nice, and shooed the puppy away. Linus hopped away at first, but bounded back again, jumping on the pillow to try and get at Max's tail. Max quickly sat up and barked loudly twice at the pup, showing his teeth, but not biting. The pup shrieked and yelped away, running for Linda. I scolded Max and calmed him down again. "Come on, Max, he's just a baby. You gotta be patient. We'll go for a walk after dinner." Linda storms in, hugging Linus. "That dog attacked Linus." "What? No, Max was..." "Shut up! I heard it! He hurt Linus! I heard Linus crying after he barked like a beast!" Linus tried to get into Max's space. Max just barked to scare Linus. He didn't bite. "That monster is too old and dangerous. He'll kill Linus." Me, hugging Max around the neck. "No! He was just getting Linus away from his pillow. Max didn't hurt him." Linda kept screaming about how dangerous Max was until my dad and grandma came in and calmed things down. After dinner, I took Max for a walk, like we always did in the evenings, except during winters. Aside from trying to chase his sworn enemies, any and all squirrels, he was just happy and prancing as we walked down to the park, played and rolled in the grass, and then headed home once the mosquitoes started to swarm. I went to school the next morning after making sure Max had food and water and giving him a loving pat before I left. 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. School is out and I head home. I walk up to the front door. Max didn't come to greet me. I walk in and look in the backyard. Max isn't there. I go to my room. Max isn't there. I look in the garage. Linda would put him there sometimes. Max isn't there. I start to freak out. My grandma hears me scrambling around in a panic and comes down from her room. "OP, what's the matter, sweetie?" "I can't find Max. Did he escape the backyard? I should go find him." "Shush, shush, shush." "Honey, calm down. Your dad and Linda took Max earlier." "Took him? Where?" "They didn't say. I'm sure they will be home soon." I sat on the couch, a mess of anxiety and shaking. Dad and Linda came home a few hours later, just before dinner. Max was not with them. Still shaking, "Dad, where is Max?" Dad sighs. "We had to put him to sleep." Breaking down, "Why? Why?" "He was getting old, and his eyesight was getting bad, and Linda said he lunged and tried to bite Linus this morning." Me, now in tears and ugly crying, "That can't be true. Max would never..." "Well, he did. He tried to bite Linus. I saw it." His eyesight going bad is probably why he would bite. He didn't see it was Linus. Max was only 8 years old. He was healthy. He was able to see squirrels. "Well, it's done. Get over it. At least now we'll have some more room without a big dumb dog like that in this house anymore." I fled to my room and bawled. Max was a good furry buddy and friend to me. I knew in my heart Linda lied to my dad to kill Max. Max was able to see and chase squirrels with no problem whatsoever, so I knew his eyesight wasn't the issue. Linda found her opportunity to get rid of Max, and she took advantage of it, making my dad take Max while I was at school so I could not protest and protect my dog. And the biggest insult to injury? Linda got a second puppy shortly after she murdered Max, another Cairn Terrier pup. She named Rufus. And you know how dogs tend to take after their owners? Is there such a thing as an entitled dog? Linus and Rufus were like little attack carpet sharks that would do her bidding. Hard to say that there were dogs I didn't like, but I did not like those too. These were also the two dogs whose ground dog training Linda prioritized over my dad's heart attack. Sorry if I brought any tears to anyone's eyes with this story. Just writing out this memory made me cry as well. Max deserved better and should have been allowed to live a full life. Don't let the entitled get away with crimes against our furry friends. Don't let what happened to Max happen to any other beloved pupper butters. Much love, friends. OP posted an edit on the story, and I'm going to read that for you now because I feel it adds to the story. Thank you for the gold and silver on the story, and thank you all for all your supportive comments and suggestions for revenge. But this story happened years ago, in the late 1990s, back when I was a teenager suffering from depression, anxiety, and I was a very timid and weak-willed person. Linda was a bully, through and through, and she would always manipulate my dad to do what she wanted. And yes, my dad obeyed her with barely a question. I do believe if I was at home to protect Max, Linda wouldn't have been able to convince my dad of the lunging and biting story she told him, but it was only a matter of time before I would be out of the house and she would have done it anyway. I will always miss and love that dog, but all my fur babies are safe now that Linda was given the boot from our family back in the mid-2000s. So I have no need to get any physical revenge on her, and my best revenge is to tell her stories so that you fellow readers can spot your own Lindas in your lives and stop them before they spread their evil. Also, please don't wish pain and suffering on my dad, especially with his current condition. Yes, these stories will tell of some of his worst mistakes, but please try to understand that he really isn't a bad person because of this past. Believe me, he suffered enough and paid for his mistakes many years ago. There are more reasons to the whats and whys about my dad in my profile. If you would like to read it and get to understand who my dad was and is, it's up to you. There are links in the description below to take you to OP's profile. If you want to read, they have a very long write-up on their dad that is extremely well written, and I might just try and get permission to post that on the channel here as well. Thank you to SaturnGrl, who reached out to me this time and let me know that she had a new story and she'd love for it to be read out on the channel. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate your contacting me. And guys, remember, I do have my own subreddit now, r/KarmaCommentChameleon, where you can submit your stories as long as they're long enough that they can make their own video. Once again, this is Rob from KarmaCommentChameleon saying thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I ask you to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.